Welcome. I'm excited to take you on a deep dive into creatine monohydrate. This presentation is all about demystifying one of the most researched and misunderstood supplements in the fitness world. You'll gain a clear understanding of what creatine is, how it works, the proven benefits it offers for strength, power, and muscle growth, and how to use it effectively and safely. Throughout our time together, we'll cut through marketing hype and half-truths so you can make informed decisions about your pre-workout routine. By the end of this talk, you'll understand why creatine isn't just for elite athletes. It's a foundational tool for anyone serious about performance and recovery. Let's get started and set the stage for a more informed approach to supplementation. Many people shy away from creatine because of persistent myths. You may have heard claims that any weight gain from creatine is just water, that it harms your kidneys or liver, or that it causes cramps, dehydration, or even hair loss. Others suggest that newer exotic forms of creatine are safer or more effective than traditional monohydrate. These beliefs are widespread, but they don't hold up to scientific scrutiny. In reality, creatine has been studied for decades and has one of the best safety profiles of any supplement. The small increase in weight you see initially reflects increased water content inside muscle cells, which is an important part of its mechanism. We'll address each of these concerns head on and show you what the research truly says. To make sense of creatine, it helps to know where we're headed. First, we'll define what creatine is and explore how your body produces and stores it. Then we'll examine how the phosphocreatine system regenerates ATP to fuel explosive movements and review the performance and muscle building benefits. We'll look at dosing strategies and dispel myths around timing and usage. Safety is always a priority, so we'll cover the evidence on side effects and bust some persistent myths. After that, we'll compare different forms of creatine and see how they stack up. Finally, we'll bring it all together with real training applications and discuss how our product, Essence of Hormesis, uses creatine in a clinically effective way. This roadmap will keep us on track as we dive deeper. Creatine is a naturally occurring compound made from the amino acids arginine, glycine, and methionine. Your liver and pancreas synthesize roughly 1 to 2 grams of it each day. About 95% of your body's creatine is stored in your skeletal muscles, where it exists in two forms, roughly 2/3 as phosphocreatine and 1/3 as free creatine. Unlike protein, creatine doesn't build tissues directly. Instead, it serves as a rapidly accessible phosphate reservoir for regenerating cellular energy. Understanding these basic facts helps us appreciate why supplementing creatine can make such a noticeable difference in high-intensity performance. We'll build on this foundation to see how creatine moves through your body and why muscular stores matter. Your body maintains a delicate balance of creatine by synthesizing about 1 to 2 grams per day and breaking down roughly the same amount into creatinine. While you can obtain creatine from foods like red meat and fish, you would need to consume very large quantities to match the dosages used in studies, something that isn't practical or healthful for most people. This is why supplementation is so popular. It offers a clean, low-fat, low-protein way to raise your muscle creatine stores without overhauling your diet. Understanding the sources and turnover of creatine sets the stage for why even active individuals can benefit from adding it to their regimen. When you perform a short, explosive movement like a heavy lift or a sprint, your muscles rely on adenosine triphosphate or ATP for immediate energy. Unfortunately, ATP stores deplete quickly. That's where phosphocreatine comes in. Phosphocreatine donates a phosphate group to adenosine diphosphate or ADP, rapidly regenerating ATP so you can keep pushing hard. This reaction takes place in a fraction of a second and is essential for powering short bursts of effort. By increasing your phosphocreatine stores through supplementation, you can sustain high-intensity efforts longer, produce more work per set, and recover more quickly between bursts. Think of creatine as a backup battery that lets you recharge faster when the main energy source runs low. Higher phosphocreatine stores don't just help you during a single effort. They compound over weeks and months of training. With more available energy, you can grind out an extra rep, lift slightly heavier weights, or maintain higher intensity throughout your sessions. Improved recovery between sets means you're ready to attack the next round sooner, which allows you to increase total volume across a workout. Over time, these small improvements in workload send stronger hypertrophy and strength signals to your muscles. In other words, creatine isn't a magic pill. It amplifies your ability to overload your muscles and adapt more efficiently. The long-term result is greater strength, power, and muscular development compared to training without supplementation. Decades of research consistently demonstrate that creatine improves performance across a range of activities. Maximal strength and power can increase by around 5 to 15%, meaning heavier lifts and faster bar speeds. Work performed within a set may rise by a similar margin, allowing you to complete more reps before fatigue hits. Even short sprints benefit, with a 1 to 5% boost in speed or force, and repeated sprint activities see even larger improvements, up to 15%. These percentages may seem modest, but they compound over time and can be the difference between stagnation and continual progress. Whether you're a powerlifter, a recreational athlete, or someone who simply wants more productive workouts, creatine reliably enhances performance. Many people notice a 1 to 2 kilogram increase in body weight during the first week of creatine loading. This change reflects greater water content and glycogen storage within muscle cells, not fat gain. Over the long term, creatine's ability to allow more work in each session leads to 5 to 15% greater gains in strength and muscle mass compared to a placebo. Studies also show increases in myosin heavy chain expression and other regulatory factors that drive muscle growth. So while initial weight gain is mostly water, the long-term effects are real increases in muscle size and strength. Understanding this distinction helps you appreciate that creatine supports both immediate performance and meaningful hypertrophy. It's important to distinguish between the cell volumization that occurs when creatine draws water into muscle cells and the true hypertrophy that results from progressive training. In the short term, increased phosphocreatine and intracellular water cause muscle fibers to swell, creating a fuller appearance and a stretch-induced anabolic signal. This rapid weight gain is temporary and normal. True muscle growth, however, requires consistent overload, lifting heavier weights, performing more volume, and allowing adequate recovery. Creatine facilitates this process by supporting higher training volume, but it doesn't replace hard work. Once your muscles are saturated and your training volume increases, the gains in size and strength you achieve are retained as long as you continue to train and maintain creatine stores. Both mechanisms play a role, but they operate on different timelines. There are two main ways to increase your muscle creatine stores: a loading protocol or a steady intake. The classic loading strategy involves taking about 0.3 grams per kilogram of body weight per day, split into several doses for 5 to 7 days. This rapidly saturates your muscles. After that, you transition to a maintenance dose of 3 to 5 grams per day to keep levels elevated. Alternatively, you can skip the loading phase and simply take 3 to 5 grams daily. Saturation will still occur, but it will take about 3 to 4 weeks. Both approaches are effective, so choose the one that fits your preference and digestive tolerance. The key is consistency. Missing doses will allow levels to drop over time. A common misconception is that you must take creatine at a specific time, first thing in the morning, immediately pre-workout, or right before bed for it to be effective. In reality, timing has minimal impact compared to maintaining overall saturation. As long as you take your daily dose, your muscles will remain loaded and ready to perform. Some research suggests that combining creatine with carbohydrates and protein may slightly increase retention, so taking it alongside a meal or post-workout shake is convenient. Ultimately, the best time is the one you'll remember and stick to consistently. Don't overcomplicate it. Establish a routine that fits your schedule and stay disciplined. Creatine safety has been studied extensively, and the only significant side effect in healthy adults is the initial weight gain from increased water storage. Doses under 25 grams per day do not damage the kidneys or liver in people with normal function, and long-term studies spanning up to 5 years report no adverse effects. Claims that creatine causes cramps, dehydration, or hair loss are not supported by evidence. In fact, by drawing water into muscle cells, creatine can help maintain hydration during training. Of course, anyone with pre-existing kidney issues should consult a healthcare professional before supplementing, but for most individuals, creatine is one of the safest and most reliable ergogenic aids available. The supplement market offers a variety of creatine forms: monohydrate, hydrochloride, ethyl ester, buffered creatine, and more, each claiming superior absorption or reduced bloating. However, the vast majority of research supports creatine monohydrate as the gold standard. It's stable, highly bioavailable, cost-effective, and consistently shown to raise muscle creatine stores. Newer formulations like creatine HCl or ethyl ester are often more expensive and have little to no evidence showing they outperform monohydrate in healthy individuals. Some forms may be marketed as safer, but they have not been studied as extensively. Unless you have specific digestive issues, stick with a high-quality monohydrate. Your muscles and wallet will thank you. When you apply creatine in a real-world training context, the benefits are noticeable. For strength and power athletes, it enables heavier lifts and faster bar speeds, which compound over multiple sets. In hypertrophy training, higher volume and better pumps mean you can push through longer sessions and recruit more muscle fibers. For team sports and athletic performance, creatine supports repeated sprints, jumps, and agility drills by speeding up recovery between efforts. Creatine also pairs well with other performance enhancers such as citrulline, betaine, and caffeine, each addressing different pathways. By combining these ingredients intelligently, you create a synergistic formula that covers energy, endurance, and blood flow, leading to a comprehensive training boost. Our brand uses 5 grams of creatine monohydrate per serving because this is the clinically effective maintenance dose supported by research. We ensure purity and stability, minimizing impurities that can cause digestive discomfort. We also pair creatine with 3 grams of betaine, 10 grams of citrulline, and 250 milligrams of caffeine to maximize synergy across energy systems and muscle pumps. By fully disclosing our ingredients and dosages, we avoid proprietary blends and let you know exactly what you're consuming. This transparency reflects our commitment to science-based formulations that deliver measurable results. Let's recap the essential points. Creatine is a natural compound primarily stored in your muscles and synthesized from amino acids. It regenerates ATP through the phosphocreatine system, boosting strength, power, and work capacity. Effective dosing can be achieved with a loading phase followed by 3 to 5 grams daily, or simply by taking that maintenance dose consistently. Creatine is safe for healthy individuals. Concerns about kidney damage, dehydration, or hair loss aren't supported by evidence. Among the various forms available, monohydrate remains the most researched and cost-effective option. Keep these facts in mind as you consider adding creatine to your supplement strategy. Now that you understand the science and practical application of creatine, it's time to take action. Check your pre-workout label to ensure it provides a full 5-gram dose of creatine monohydrate. Choose the loading or daily dosing protocol that aligns with your goals and schedule. Remember to stay hydrated and pair your training with a balanced diet to maximize results. By implementing these strategies, you'll harness creatine's full potential and make your workouts more productive. And if you're looking for more evidence-based guidance and gym hacks, subscribe to AOF Supplements. We're here to support your journey towards smarter, stronger lifting.